Now, while we obviously have profound differences with Iran, yet to be resolved, the fact is that this agreement could not have been reached without the decision of the Iranian government to come to the table and negotiate.
Without continued pressure, what incentive does the Iranian regime have to take serious steps that actually dismantle its nuclear weapons capability? Why would it dismantle the centrifuges and the plutonium reactor? None of this is covered in the agreement. They're left intact. So Israel is not bound by this agreement.
Well, that was Secretary of State John Kerry, followed by Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. And Netanyahu was clearly unhappy with the historic agreement that was reached with Iran over the weekend. We will discuss that and more right here, right now on the News Hub. Good morning and welcome. I'm Simon Constable. And joining us now to analyze this situation, we've got Andrew Taylor. He is a senior fellow at the Washington Institute and a regular here at on the News Hub. Andrew, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.
Now, Benjamin Netanyahu says that Israel is not party to this agreement. Israel is the only nuclear power in the region, in the Middle East. How big a deal is it that Israel is not party to this?
I think it's a very, very big deal in the sense that clearly the Israelis are not on board. The agreement allows Iran to continue to enrich. The centrifuges continue to spin. They don't feel that it's restrictive enough. And it shows that without Allied support, the United States is going to have a hard time selling an agreement to ultimately the people that have to live with it in the region.
Okay, and that notably, Israel has been basically felt threatened since its starting. Now, what Iran gets from this, and I'm going through a little graphic we've got here: $6 to $7 billion released from frozen funds. They can get to resume their petrochemical exports, notably that would be crude oil, and can deal in gold and precious metals. That seems like a good deal for them. Does it affect them that Israel isn't party to this?
Yeah, I think that one of the things that Iran gets a lot of relief from this, it takes some of the pressure off. It will certainly strengthen a lot of the moderates within Iran who've been advocating a deal. But will it ultimately change Iran in its path to pursue its nuclear ambitions, including a weapon? That's far from clear. And we have a 6-month period now after this interim agreement where we're going to have to find out exactly where the details are.
Now, one of the worries has to be that Iran continues to aggressively enrich uranium to higher percentage levels in secret. It is a large country and it is not a particularly open society. Is that something that people should be worried about?
Sure. The centrifuges continue to spin. Granted, a lot of their higher enriched uranium, the 20%, will be turned to oxide. Means it's more difficult to make use for a nuclear weapon. But their stockpile of the low enriched uranium continues to grow. And once you have that base, you can, within a very short period of time, enrich to higher concentrations that will get you closer to a weapon. So it slows this down. Where this is all going, I think there's going to be a lot of ups and downs. And also events concerning Iran's nuclear program and negotiations will have an impact on its overall regional posture as well.
No, I'm sure it will. And the need for nuclear power, to some extent, has got to be reduced by the fact that they will be allowed oil exports, and that will give them cash to maybe get some refining capacity up to turn that oil into gasoline, which can then be used to fuel industry and cars and stuff. Now, Iran is the center of Shiite Islam. There are other allies, as Sunni Islamic countries like Saudi Arabia. Are they going to be happy with this, or is this going to bend them out of shape?
No, I think Saudi Arabia is not happy for two reasons. One, they see American diplomats meeting with their historic adversaries in Tehran. That's not something that they want. But two, the Iranians are backing Bashar al-Assad in Syria, where we have a lot of direct Iranian involvement now. This is against their interests, and they're afraid that a deal on Iran's nuclear program will also have as a rider allowing Bashar al-Assad to stay in power indefinitely, and that's not in Saudi interests or that of the Sunni powers in the region.
Okay, well, we thank you for your time. Andrew Taylor, whose name I mispronounced at the beginning of the segment, thank you very much, sir. We appreciate your time.